If you're looking for a book to read that's gonna give you what you need, the Quran is like a light. The readers, they shine so bright. It shows us the way to go. Before it, we did not know. When you put it in your heart, I think you're gonna say, I love Quran. First you gotta read it, then you understand it, then you wanna say, I love Quran. When you understand it, then you gotta do it, then you wanna say, I love Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear respected viewers, to our program Quran for Kids. And we have covered some, mashallah, beautiful sections and parts from Quran. And today, inshallah, we will get to Surah Yunus alayhi salam, a great prophet. What do you know about Yunus alayhi salam? We will ask this question and we will get into that. Let me introduce to you my guests here in the studio today, and then we get to our halaqah, to our episode. Right to my right here is Sheikh
Abdulaziz Zidan.
And by now you are known to our viewers, mashallah. This is your surah, Abdulaziz, right? Yes. He is working in Surah Yunus, coming from Surah An-Nas and up, and mashallah, he is working on it, and soon, inshallah, you'll be finishing the entire Quran. Right next to Abdulaziz is Sheikh
Abdullah Dabur.
Sheikh Abdullah Dabur, and what's your surah that you're working on?
Surah Taha.
Surah Taha, you're still working in Surah Taha, and soon, inshallah, you'll be hitting it to Surah Yunus, inshallah. And right next to Abdullah is his brother? Muhammad Dabur, Surah
Al-An'am.
Surah Al-An'am, the surah that we got a couple of sections from it last couple of times. And mashallah, next to Muhammad is
Ahmed Isam
Al-Nashar. Beautiful, mashallah, Ahmed. And next to Ahmed is Noor. What is the last name? Noor what? Noor Muhammad Khashaba. Beautiful, mashallah, ya Noor. And back to the question that one of the kids asked some time back about the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knowing everything, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in charge of everything, and how is that related to us being able to do things and choose things. You remember the question? It was you, I believe, Abdullah, who asked the question.
The question was, Abdulaziz asked it, if Allah knows what we're gonna do, if He knows what we're gonna do, then why did He put it, or like, why did He put us in life?
Okay, this question is a big, huge question. If Allah already knows what we're going to do, why He's bringing us in here, or He will hold us accountable on the Day of Judgment? And this is such a huge question that I do not claim that I will give a full answer, because really there is no answer that will be 100% convincing. But at the same time, we can talk about it and we can understand how things work at large. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being God, He has features and characteristics different from us. Knowledge, we talk about the knowledge of Allah being different from our knowledge. I get to your question. Give me a few seconds, Ahmed. Just wait with me. Hold on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. He knows everything. We have knowledge as well. But our knowledge, if you compare it to the knowledge of Allah, is nothing. Allah sees everything, hears everything. Knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like me and you. You did not know English and then you learn English, you know English. You did not know Arabic, you did not know math, you did not know this. You learn it, you acquire this knowledge. Knowledge of Allah is not acquired, is from Him, is one of His features and characteristics, that He knows everything. Now, Allah knowing everything, like you are my son. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. Allah, there's no comparison in here, but just for us to understand. I know many of your choices, if not most of your choices, what you're going to choose and what you're going to do if you are being put in this situation, because I have raised you from day one. I know you, sometimes even better than you know yourself, sometimes. But that does not mean that I force you to choose this or that, right? So if I put you in a test, you can choose for yourself. I know what you're going to choose, because I know you very well. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows every single person of us very, very well, more than even He knows himself or herself. But that does not mean that Allah would force you to do evil. Actually, He warned us from doing evil. He knew if somebody's going to do bad or somebody's going to do good, he knows ahead of time. But he does not force you to do this, or actually he makes it easy for you to memorize Quran. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ. Allah said, we have made it easy for you to memorize Quran. We make it easy for you to do everything. Just show Allah that you want to be good, and He will make it so easy for you to be good. That probably will help answer this question. Did it help a little bit answering the question?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get to our surah. What surah again? Surah
Yunus.
Yunus alayhi salam. I was talking to one of my friends, and he is a lecturer in Arabic language in one of the Arabic language colleges in here, and he said Yunus is thulathiyya, which is triple. You can say Yunus, Yunis, or Yunus, right? The most famous Arabic grammatically or amongst the people who study Arabic is Yunus, Yunus alayhi salam. Which prophet is Yunus alayhi salam? Let's talk about Prophet Yunus for a little bit. Which prophet? Do you know Prophet Yunus alayhi salam? Do you know Sayyidina Yunus? You know him?
Yes.
What?
But I don't know what he do.
You didn't know what he did. Okay. So what happened with Sayyidina Yunus alayhi salam? Abdullah.
He was sent like all the other prophets to a like tribe so he can tell them the truth, and then like always they did not listen. So he wanted to get out of the place without even telling Allah. So he went on a ship, and there was a...
You're going to tell us the entire story, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. So quickly, summarize the story for us. So he got on board of a ship and...
They had to throw somebody. So...
Why? Why would we have to throw somebody?
Because there was a lot of weight on the ship.
Okay.
And they did something, and it always turned out to be Sayyidina Yunus, so they threw him off the ship, and a whale came in and swallowed him. And then
So he was the prophet that the whale swallowed him. That's the most famous part about it, right? About him.
Yeah.
Okay, Nora's been waiting for a while. Do you know Sayyidina Yunus? Do you have a question?
But I saw something, it wasn't very nice on my story about Sayyidina Yunus.
What was it?
His friends threw him in the water.
His friends threw him in the water? And then what happened to him?
His dad came along and saw him.
Did he know how to swim?
No.
Do you know how to swim?
But
You don't swim?
I know, but I'm...
Can you look at me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, beautiful. So what happened is a big fish, a big whale, swallowed him, right? Is that what happened?
لا في حط رماه في النيل.
Okay, that's actually what happened. They threw him into the water. Was it the Nile? It was not the Nile.
It was the...
It was not the Nile, was it? It wasn't the water because we don't have whales. Fruit. We don't have whales in the Nile, do we?
I saw them throw it in.
You saw him. You saw them throwing him into the Nile. Okay, they threw him into the water. Let's agree on that. Okay, they threw him in the water, right? We all agree on that. So they throw Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam into the water.
Sayyidina Yunus.
Yunus. What did they say?
Yusuf.
I'm sorry. What did? Yeah, where did they throw Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam?
Yunus.
Yunus.
Yes, but something happened to Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam.
Yunus.
No. Something happened. I mean what I say. Something happened to Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam or Yusuf alayhi salam. His brothers threw him where?
In the well.
In the
well. Yeah, it was water again, but it was the well. But now we're talking about Sayyidina Yunus alayhi salam or Yunus alayhi salam. And actually, let's get to the ayat. Right? We're not going to talk about this story.
She was talking about Surah. She was talking
Surah
about
Yusuf, maybe we can talk about it later. But now, Surah Yunus alayhi salam, it's actually like an interesting story. Maybe we can talk about it later. But the couple of ayat that I want to talk about today, inshallah, we didn't even get the chance to recite them yet. Abdullah, can we delay what we have, or is it about Sayyidina Yunus? Yusuf? Go ahead, quickly.
Do we know exactly what island the whale spit him on?
I don't know. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not tell us a lot of details in the Quran, right, Ahmed? Allah does not give us a lot of details, what names and what island and what place and what date. What's really important is the message, is what?
The message.
is what?
The message.
What's really important is the message. Allah is telling you a message. This is what's important. Not, forget about names and dates and all the other details. We have a message here in the ayat, the verses that we will recite today. Let's recite together. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
قل من يرزقكم من السماء والأرض.
قل من يرزقكم من السماء والأرض والأرض
أمن يملك السمع والأبصار.
أمن يملك السمع والأبصار
ومن يخرج الحي من الميت.
ومن يخرج الحي من الميت
ويخرج الميت من الحي.
ويخرج الميت من الحي.
أحمد النور. ويخرج الميت من الحي.
ويخرج الحي من الحي.
ومن يدبر الأمر.
ومن يدبر الأمر
فسيقولون الله.
فسيقولون الله.
فقل أفلا تتقون.
فقل أفلا تتقون.
فذلكم الله ربكم الحق.
فذلكم الله ربكم الحق.
فماذا بعد الحق إلا الضلال.
فماذا بعد الحق إلا الضلال.
فأنى تصرفون.
فأنى تصرفون.
Beautiful, mashallah. Let's get to the ayat very quickly. Get something quick before we get to the break because it's coming very soon. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُل, which means say, tell them, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah is asking Prophet Muhammad, let's say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alayhi salatu wa sallam. May Allah's peace and blessings be on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Tell them, ya Muhammad, tell people, tell everybody, مَن يَرْزُقُكُمْ, who is the one that gives you rizq, provision, min as-sama'i wal-ard, from where?
From the ground.
The sky and from earth. What kind of rizq and provision, what gifts that Allah gives us that come from the sky? Give me an example. What's good that comes to us from the sky?
I like
Water.
those more.
Rain.
Rain, what's good about rain?
The rain falls down and grows any plants.
Plants will grow and everything. If there's no rain, what's going to happen?
No life on earth.
No life on earth. There are some areas in Namibia, I believe, or that it does not rain for like 50 years. I was watching Planet Earth, and there's no life. Almost there's no, you don't see life, or we don't see it. It's like desert. It's like very hot in the desert. Then rain comes down. What happens? What happened, Abdullah? Everything flourishes again. Life survives or revives again. And then animals will come, and that's, like Allah is the one who is sending water from the sky, or giving it to us. That's why all the scientists in NASA and astronauts and people, all of these people are many of them are after the question whether we have life in other planets or places in the outer space or not. And the main question is, do we have water or not? They go, do we have water on the moon? Do we have water in Mercury, in Neptune, in anywhere? And if there's water, probably there is life. If there's no water, there is no life. So we come back to talk about water and the good things that come to us from Allah, from the sky and from the earth. But that's going to be after the break. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for a book to read that's going to give you what you need, the Quran is like a light. The readers, they shine so bright. If you're looking for a book to read that's gonna give you what you need, the Quran is like a light. The readers, they shine so bright.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to our program Quran for Kids. Back to Surah Yunus alayhi salam, Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. Surah is named after this great prophet, like so many surahs are named after other prophets. We're not going to talk about stories of prophets. Maybe we can have another time to talk about all the stories or a lot of the stories of prophets, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, Yunus alayhi salam, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, and all the other prophets. But in this surah, in the first segment, we talked about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as being the one who is giving us rizq, is giving us gifts and everything from the sky and from the earth. What did Allah, or give me an example of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us from the sky? And Abdul Aziz was talking about rain, and rain comes down, and then life comes to us because of rain. Abdullah.
Sunlight. The sun.
Sunlight, it comes to us from the sky, right? It's kind of depends where you are, but yeah, it's coming to us. So that is a risk. Without sunlight, some areas, I have one of my friends, he lives in Iceland, the country. You know where Iceland is? Where? It's up top in the north hemisphere of the world. And sometimes, like last Ramadan, they were fasting like average people, not average, I mean it depends where you are, but in the States we were fasting for like 15, 16 hours. There, guess how many hours of the 24 hours in the day they were fasting?
How many?
It's like 22, 23 hours, close to 23 hours, which is, they end up having 1 to 2, a little bit over 2 hours maybe to eat. This is night for them. So the day and night is, the concept is so different, right? That's so different. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who proportioned everything. He sent us sunlight. This is a ni'mah. This is a blessing from Allah. Those people, they don't have enough sunlight. And because of that, you know, there's not much life in there towards Alaska. And actually there's life in there, but it's you know, everything is in hibernation and everything. But when summer comes and sunlight comes, because it is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends to us, as Abdullah says, that is as a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What else come to us from the sky? Or from the earth? Or if you have any comment, Abdul Aziz, yes?
From the floor we have trees.
We have trees. What else? We have good things coming from the floor.
Rice.
Rice? Rice. You like rice, huh?
Flowers.
You eat too much rice.
Flowers.
Bananas.
What? No.
Flowers.
Flowers. I like that. MashaAllah. Flowers come to us from the ground. Amazing. Do you like flowers? You have a lot of
But I
flowers in your
like
dress.
more toys and cats.
You like toys and cats more than flowers? Okay. But flowers is a very good example. Very good example. Muhammad.
Back then,
Then when?
before they created light.
Before Allah created light?
No, before mankind created.
Oh, this kind of light? Yeah, okay.
The moon was a kind of light at night.
Yes, and it was, okay. I like that too. Moon is always and has been a source of, you know, great imagination because of this beautiful light. جَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ ضِيَاءً وَالْقَمَرَ نُورًا. Allah is the one, and that's in Surah Yunus as well, is the one who made the sun as ضِيَاء, and ضِيَاء is kind of radiant light, radiation. It's light but full of
light.
You know, heat and stuff like the sun, right? Sun. But the moon is Noor. What's your name today?
Noor.
Noor, that's your name. Allah mentioned your name in the Quran. Allah made the moon Noor. The Noor, the light that comes to us from the moon, especially when it's a full moon. Everybody wants to ask question, mashallah. Is kind of not radiant light, not very vibrant, not very, you know, it doesn't have heat in it. It's kind of a sweet light. It's kind of faint light that always sparks the imagination of poets and you know, lovers and artists and everything, right? So that comes to us from the sky. Thank you, Muhammad, for that. We probably will not have the chance to finish this, but let's get more questions, Abdullah.
Actually, the moon doesn't make its own light.
Okay, getting to physics right now, right? The moon does not make its own light. I know that. But we're just talking about the fact that we see light coming from the moon. You can explain to us.
It's a reflection of the sun.
It is a reflection of the sun, light of the sun, but it's coming to us in a different way, a beautiful way, mashallah. Thank you for this, Abdullah. Muhammad.
Also, the stars back then were used
Back then when? I always get confused.
as
Oh, before they
yeah.
made the light, Mr. Edison, Thomas Edison, or whoever.
the stars also were used for like
Navigation.
navigation.
Yes, I got this. Yeah, beautiful. Allah also mentioned about this in the Quran. Can you quote the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about an-nujum?
والنجوم مسخرات بأمره.
مسخرات بأمره. Yes, they are being going according to the rules of Allah by the command of Allah. But the specific ayah I'm talking about, it's in within your hifz in Surah An-Nahl, to make it easy on everybody, Muhammad and Abdul Aziz. Allah says what? وَبِالنَّجْمِ
هم يهتدون.
هُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ. You got it. And with the stars, they get guidance. They navigate. وَعَلَامَاتٍ. Allah has set some sign in the universe. We think it's the iPhone or it's this or that navigate. Actually, all of these systems are based on what?
Stars.
Are based on what Allah has said to us in the universe. The movement of the earth. That makes what? That makes the day and night around itself, revolving around itself. One time is a day and a night, right? And then the moon, the earth itself is moving around what?
The sun.
The sun, and that gives you what? One
Season.
circle is what?
1
A
year.
year.
Is 1 year. And when it's so close to the sun, that's summer. When it's a little bit far, this is winter. And you probably get this, study this in physics. Allah has told us, is telling us all of this in the Quran, right? So we see all of that. Ahmed, you have something for us?
What about the water?
What about the water? Water is another miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It comes to us from where? That's both. It's coming from the sky
And
And from the
and from the earth. Raining, and then water is gushing out from, it's the cycle of water is amazing, right? It's amazing. You studied this, you got this,
Yes.
so amazing.
and the most amazing thing, the water that it's called uyun, that comes from the
Springs.
floor. Springs.
Yeah, the springs of
It's
water,
like really warm water.
warm water,
And there's
and
freezing cold water.
subhanallah. You ever been to any of these warm springs?
Yeah.
Where?
And
Sinai, probably. Ayun Musa? Was it in the States? In Egypt?
Yeah, over here.
Here in Egypt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be Ayun Musa. They are called Ayun Musa. Somewhere in
Yeah,
the Sinai. Is it?
Yeah.
Or Al Fayoum?
No, it was in.
Whatever. So it should be there. Saint Catherine, somewhere in Sinai. So wherever you go, all over the place, we have some warm springs. And I've been somewhere in Emirates, in Al Ain, that mashallah, there is a water that comes that's so hot. Up on top of one of the mountains in there. It's so nice. So hot that you cannot, sometimes in some places you cannot even take it. And in some other places, water well or something here, it's so cold. Who is doing all of that? Who is giving us water? Hot and cold and from the sky and river, fresh water, and then we have salt water, and then we have fish and life. All of that is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Noor.
I don't have any clothes for winter.
You don't have any clothes for winter?
I just have a hat and gloves.
It's okay. Winter is still, we still have, it's ahead. You can, manage to get some water, some clothes for winter, inshallah. You still have time. Right? Are you worried about the winter? Is it so
No.
cold here?
No, if it's winter, maybe the water can freeze.
Yeah, water freezes in the winter if it's too cold, right? But one thing, beautiful thing about the clothing and dress and everything, what is this made of?
cotton.
God.
Many of them used to be made of cotton or other,
Polyester.
materials. But let's take cotton for example. Cotton comes from where?
Plant.
It's from a plant. Cotton. The best of these are the Egyptian cotton, right?
Yes.
This is, I believe, is made of Egyptian cotton. I got it from the States, but it's Egyptian cotton, if I'm not wrong. I think it's Indian, whatever. So cotton is a plant that came because of water that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to us from the sky. And then the cotton grows up to give us this cotton plant, to give us this white texture. cotton itself, they take it, they work on it, and then the fabrics and everything, and they put colors, and you have different clothes. This is from Allah. What Allah is saying here is قُلْ مَن يَرْزُقُكُم مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Thank you. Say, who is the one that gives you rizq from the sky, from the earth? We were just reflecting and thinking right now, the clothes, and Noor just draws our attention to this. The clothes that we dress is a rizq from Allah. It's coming from the sky and from the earth in the same time. Cotton grows up because of the water that comes from the sky and because of the plant that grows from the earth. And now we have it. Who? Allah is saying, who is giving you that?
Allah.
It's Allah. أَمَّن يَمْلِكُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارِ. Before we get into a different point, let's see if Abdullah has a point in here.
Also silk,
Silk.
which comes from a worm.
Silk comes from a worm, and this is very expensive kind of cloth. It comes from a worm, right? So silk, and by the way, silk for men is not right in Islam to wear silk in ordinary time, but for women it is okay. But let's focus on the fact that silk itself, where does it come from? It comes from a worm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created that eats the plants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, and then it gives us this. It doesn't mean to give us silk. What does it mean to make? And then we take it and we make it silk.
The tree. It's
the
grape tree.
The bug itself, the worm itself.
Makes a cocoon.
It's a cocoon. It's making a cocoon, so it will, go into it before it transforms to a nice butterfly. It doesn't mean to, but for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it to us. We can take that and we can make the cocoon. Yeah, this is the cocoon. This is the silk. Yeah, this is where the silk comes from. You didn't know that before?
No.
Yeah, so probably hate silk. But that's where the silk is coming from. Harir, as Allah talked about in the Quran. In Jannah, inshallah, we enjoy all the harir. Everybody will enjoy it for free, the silk. Right? So, yeah, give me more examples of rizq that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us from the sky or from the earth. And reflecting, you will see a lot of things. Abdullah.
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad. Where did they come from? From the sky or from the earth?
From the earth.
From the earth, because we were made out of earth, right?
Yes.
But Adam was from where, alayhi salam?
From skies.
Haha. He is in Jannah, right? He is from Jannah. Allah made him in Jannah. He is made from earth, but he lived in Jannah, his hometown, his home place, his home. And we come to earth. Doesn't really matter, but inshallah we end up going back to our home. You remember the movie?
Home.
Probably you were too young for that. Huh?
I watched it.
What is it? E.T.,
Home.
right?
Huh?
E.T. So home, it's not the moon this time. It is going to be Jannah, inshallah. We go back to home, and inshallah we enjoy everything in there. So, Muhammad.
Also, the paper.
Paper. Yeah. Give us the process.
From trees.
From trees, from plants, and plants they need water, they grow up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the water from the sky, plants will go up, and people take, like the ancient Egyptians, they used to do papyrus and all of these kinds of things, and up until nowadays, they are made, many of them.
Ships and
Not all of them.
airplanes.
Ships, aeroplanes are made of what?
Ships are made from
They used to be made of
trees, wood.
woods and everything. We've been in Alexandria last week, and we saw, if you go closer to the Qaitbay Citadel, or fort, whatever they call it, and next to it you see people building ships, and they are still building them from what?
Wood.
From wood. Wood. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is giving us wood from trees. That process is known to us, and now we can build ships, and we can build houses, and we can build everything. Rizq from Allah. قُلْ مَن يَرْزُقُكُم مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Say, who is the one that gives you rizq from the sky and from the earth?
Rabbina.
Who is the one?
Rabbina.
What is the answer?
Rabbina.
Rabbina, our Lord. Who is the answer?
Rabbina.
What's his name? Allah. Allah. And I like to conclude by the best name, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I apologize for those who are still want to ask questions, and inshallah we will continue and take more questions next time, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan for joining us, and see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.
If you're looking for a book to read that's gonna give you what you need, the Quran is like a light. The readers, they shine so bright. It shows us the way to go. Before it, we did not know. When you put it in your heart, I think you're gonna say,
I love Quran.
first you gotta read it, then you understand it, then you wanna say,
I love Quran.
when you understand it, then you gotta do it, then you wanna say,
I love Quran.
when you do it, you will be rewarded, then you wanna say,
I love Quran.
but first you gotta read it, then you understand it, then you wanna say,
I love Quran.